rescue. You want to press people, you're no book. Show me the meaning of rescue. To save somebody, the meaning of rescue.
To deliver you from something, take you from something.
So you're a poor people, rescue me, save. But we the old people, rescue, the meaning of rescue. That can't help me while here.
That's the same thing.
But Jota Bagara can't tell in the water. He can't put one neck in the water but to kill on money. You know they get people, the pressure. Husband not working. I live in church TV. I even make 1,000 a lot. I even make 400 a lot profit. Let me come and go. Children waiting for me. You are Jota Bagara. Where will be our result next year? We wouldn't in 1 year. Where will be our result the following year?
Okay. Thank you so much. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Patience Manu.
Patience Manu. You selling the market here?
Yes.
I'm selling it.
Yes.
But I'm selling it until I get feeling.
No market. Can't get some. I go look for Yancy son.
You go look for the market, you see some?
I see food called a food press. The way up, you not understand ourselves. When you go to there, you buy another press. When you come, you buy a different press. So the money I can couldn't buy come out.
Also, the money you carry in, to the cold storage.
They couldn't buy my market. Very rich.
How much for the face?
You buy snapper 14,000. What we used to buy is 10,000, 8,000. Buy it 14,000. One cartoon snapper 14,000. So we beg the government. We ask y'all to help us to beg our government. We say you keep to rescue us. But the rescue that you do now, we're not understanding it. And when they pull the police on the street, our boyfriend here, they're not giving nothing to us again. They say they can't rescue us. While they cause a motor bomber running, they were not doing the one. They are breaking the government. We the poor people, they must find place for us that we want be able to spare our clothes. They got poor people, they got rich people in the town. Some of us, we not got notes from the South God. And that basically we do, we not understand our children run to school. Our children, when we can't sell the market, we can't make a damn. They say rescue, but we not understand the rescue team. So they were taking them from all of the street for smoking, for drugs and things. But I think you see them now. All of them turn to Zoom. They can stay in the freeze.
So the drugs are to you?
A rapper now, a more than rapper.
Okay.
The drugs is rapper. Some of them almost 20% on the street because of Zumi.
The zombie drugs?
Yeah, the Zumi that they bring in Jota Bagara with them. Because we are trying to sell our and what thing? Kush. But now the Zumi, when he said I see that you are so sticking at it. So we asking him to please, we the parent of our boys children, we ask him to please help us to make our children to leave Zumi. Because he said he came to change things. And no change, we not understand our land. Police people getting our keke motor back, harder. Police people beating our children on the street. They say they should register, they should become over there, walk over that one, everything they do. But what police people are home killing? That just one thing we just getting dropping like that. Tell him, don't turn the Napa, tell him, sorry. We're not taking somebody out for fair the country. So we should tell our president to help with the poor people.
Selling money, how's the business?
We get God a great for it.
You don't let you tell what take you for. But money ain't in the country now. In process.
For now, if I have to tell you that before we're all there, all of
Welcome, welcome. We want to use this time to welcome each and every one of you. Juje Wenwu, how are you? Let's bring this while we get ready to bring you the information. So again, we want to say welcome to each and every one of you. Kindly do us a favor, and that favor we require of you is to kindly hit for us the share button. So again, let's bring you this while we get ready to share in the various corner. You know, in order for us to get this information across, all of us have to play our part. So we are going to bring you this while we share behind the scene. So let's bring you this while we share behind the scene. Today is going to be a very wonderful day, a very, very wonderful day, an intellectual packed day.
Currently,
So
the salary
just hit for us the share button.
$10,000 gross.
hit for us the share
I
button.
am
We're going to be
entitled
playing
to
host to the interim
7,008. No, you actually got one
secretariat
now. You already
of the
done
CDC
it. Yes,
USA.
yes. But this
So
is
hit
this is
for us
it.
the
This is
share
it. This is
button,
it. This is
please.
it. Since I was appointed acting governor on August 1, I have not attempted to gain the salary, the benefits, neither have I moved. No, that's not my question. So after your nominee, I will. You want to do pro bono fund. You want to do pro bono fund. What is the salary structure? The income, monthly income structure. That's what I was saying. The salary, that's the gross, and a cash allowance of 7,800 gross.
So share with us, share with
You
friends,
have not
share with
already.
family members.
That's monthly.
Let all of us get ready while we
So
share,
have you
and
asked him
then
all the benefits
we
of
come on to give you all
well,
of the
okay.
information that you
Yes.
need
So
as it relates
governor,
to
again,
CDC USA.
gets
So
a
let's
monthly
get
salary of
started.
10,000
Let's get
gross,
ready.
cash allowance of 7,800 gross. The governor is entitled to a housing allowance monthly. No, monthly.
All right. So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, we want to use this occasion to extend our thanks and appreciation to all of you. We want to say thank you so much. We want to appreciate you for joining us. As usual, we ask that you do us a favor. And that favor we require of you is to please hit for us the share button. Today, we are going to be paying host to the secretariat of the interim team of CDC USA, headed by Honorable Trocon Ara Mogai and that of Augustus Gay. So they are going to be here with us. So we just ask that you do us that favor, hit for us the share button, share with friends, share with family members, and we're going to be good and you are actually going to enjoy today. So let us get started. Let us get ready as we bring you this video. This video we are going to bring you for the next few minutes, and then we'll bring our people on live. We're going to bring our people on live while they are behind the scene, getting prepared. We're going to bring you this video, and then we will actually get them on live with us. So let's just take
So
a few bars
monthly
of
is
this.
5,000 gross. He's entitled to. So leave it, bro. Not coming in. Yeah. No, because the tax rate changes. The tax rate changes. So I can give you.
So you are using 60,000 every year for housing allowance.
Yes, gross. So it's paid less taxes. So that's the gross. So you got 10,000 gross, 7,000 gross. Yes. Then another 5,000 gross. Yes. Oh, all the gross that give me a total. Well, that's 15 plus 7. That's 22. Oh, 22,000.
All right.
Gross. Yes. And that.
So we just bring you this, fellow Liberians, for you to understand how your resources is being distributed, your money that is supposed to be used to build roads, to empower doctors, teachers, and etc., how they are being used amongst few people. But again, let's go to our live feed as we welcome our people. Fellow Liberians, we are grateful to have with us the Honorable Secretary General of the interim team of CDC USA, Honorable Trocon Ara Mogai. Honorable Mogai, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Prince, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. We are also privileged to have with us fellow Liberians, the Deputy SG of the interim team of CDC USA, Honorable Augustine Gay. Honorable Gay, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Salif.
All right, so fellow Liberians, as usual, we ask that you do us a favor, hit for us the share button, and we're going to have a very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time, and all concerning the CDC USA and Liberia. So enjoy the show, enjoy every moment of the show. At certain point in time, based on our own schedule, maybe we're going to open up and see if we can have you calling in and interacting with our the interim leaders of the CDC USA. But I want to start from the Secretary General of the interim team, Honorable Mogai. And I just want to give you an opportunity to please introduce himself. I know this is not probably the first time on this platform. Some of you have seen him, you've interacted with him. But for the sake of today's discussion, we just want him to give us a kind of brief intro of who Honorable Chokon Mogai is. Honorable Chokon Mogai, again, welcome under the Palava Hut, and let our people know who you are, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prince. My name is Chokon Mongai, as was stated by the presenter. I am from the Minnesota chapter, where I have been a member for a little over 10 years. By by profession, I'm a financial engineer, and I've been working in that space for approximately about 7 years. A member of the CDC, a stalwart, a former member of the Youth League, and I'm currently the Secretary General of the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change and the CDC as well in the United States.
Thank you so very kindly, Honorable Mogai. We move on to the Honorable Deputy Secretary General, who's going to introduce himself and call his name so that we know him. Honorable Augustine, you are welcome, sir. Let's hear from you. Kindly introduce yourself to your people, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Salif. My name is Augustine Gay Kokpa. I live in Iowa, to be specific, in Cedar Rapids. I joined the CDC since 2004. I once served as a zone leader for the 24th Street block, and where you have the former assistant minister, Ellis Barkley. So the first time when George Weah came to Liberia and brought a vision, I was working to RIA with my uncle, the security head there, and we took him to the security, and he briefed us his idea for Liberia. And from that time, we all joined. So when we talk about the secret of how CDC came, we were one of those who were in the vanguard. Even before I came to America, we all been running campaign here and there, and so CDC is not new to me.
Okay.
And if I say we are the founding member of CDC, even if you are President Weah, you will say, yeah, oh, when I went to RIA, I met Babuti and his brother, and that's me. So
Wow.
thank you. And so people who know me, they know that I've been with CDC since his formation.
Wow.
So thank you for bringing us on board so we can able to do the people work. Because what is going on in our country now is terrible.
Thank you. Thank you so very kindly. I am really grateful that we have on the show today veterans. Somebody will say veterans. These are not just ordinary people or just scam. So, fellow Liberians, those of you joining us from across the world, get ready. Grab yourself a bottle of water, a bottle of juice. We'll be going into some historicity about the institution, and we'll be going to why they are here. So it's going to be a wonderful time. When you have experienced people, you got to take time how to interview. So I pray for extra grace to interview these somebody will say Adiola, somebody will say the founding fathers. So I am privileged to be on the platform. I want to start from the Honorable Secretary General, Honorable Chokon Mongai. Honorable Chokon Mongai, tell us, give us a synopsis of your own activities in the CDC USA. What has been some of your contribution towards the CDC USA? Let's hear from you, sir.
So my most recent service was when I co-presided over the election that brought Chairman Charles Koji as
Wow.
chairperson of the Minnesota chapter. I also presided over the Youth League for about 2 years in CDC USA, and we have been serving in other capacity before reaching to the secretariat. But I would like to highlight one or two of the reasons why, as a young person, because you can see I'm a relatively young person, one or two of the reasons why I decided to be a part of this historic political movement. There are different political parties in Liberia, and that is something a lot of us out there we might not know. The CDC is one political institution that, regardless of your age, regardless of your education, regardless of your geographic location, or whatever background you have, your views can be heard within this institution. And at this point, Liberia and Liberians have interest in ensuring that we develop a country that we all would like to live in. And in order for us to arrive at that point, it requires everyone bringing forth their best idea on the table so that we can try to combine all of those beautiful ideas and form a people-centered agenda that would be considered the platform of a political institution being led by whoever it is to ensure that we drive that change in Liberia. That is the reason why, on a regular basis, I tell people that the CDC is not a George Weah thing, because George Weah, as our presidential candidate, he is only driving the goal of the CDC. But if there's no President Weah, the ideology of the institution remains, and whoever comes to the presidency or comes to the general bearership of our party, they will be able to drive that agenda. And that is the institution I envisage for Liberia, because regardless of, even though I came from the interior, but I want to be somewhere that I can be able to bring my idea on the table, and my idea will be respected regardless of my background. Unlike other political parties in Liberia, that you have to be a part of the elite class before you can even be closer to the table, that doesn't happen in the CDC. A clear example: when President Weah became president, he appointed a lot of young people who came from slum communities. That is unprecedented. That have never happened before. That showcase and testifies that we as an institution, we promote our young people, and we ensure that we are not just promoting young people, but we ensure that we invest significantly in the development of those people and providing them the opportunity to serve. Because leadership is formed in a way such that if Prince is being opportune to work maybe as a finance minister, he have his own expertise. And after a couple of years, Prince should be able to give his best. And after that time, maybe this guy from the community, maybe the slum community, or maybe the interior, he should be provided the opportunity. There's something that this guy might have in him that maybe Prince never had, that could have added an extra flavor. And that is what the CDC brings to the table. And just to conclude, I'm not one person who's going to tell you that our leadership under President Weah was an angelic leadership. We never had any angel in the government. We had Liberian people. There were some challenges. Yes, I agree. There were some challenges. Yes, I agree. But on the other hand, there were also some progress that were made. And as we go further in the show, we'll be able to speak to some of those challenges, and we'll also be able to highlight some of the progress that the CDC made in ensuring that the lives of the ordinary people in Liberia was transformed. So I will stop here for now, and we'll further elaborate as we are given the chance further.
Thank you so very kindly. Thank you so very kindly. Let's go to Honorable Gay Kuba. Sir, tell us your activities with the CDC USA. I know you know vast experience back home, one of the founding fathers, but tell us your own activities here in the US, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Salif. Okay. I entered the US 2013, and I was living in New York. After New York, I moved to Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, we have one of our brother there called Jim Nah. He was the CDC USA chapter chairman there. And immediately when I enter, I introduce myself. He said, oh, okay. So we usually have a meeting, and from there, I moved to Iowa. When I moved to Iowa, we have an organization that we call National System Bond, and our chairman was Charles Kroji. And Charles Kroji was the head for the CDC USA. So immediately, when he and myself were talking, he said, oh, I'm the head. So Mr. Kroji and myself been working together. And even to get my own ID card, I went to Minnesota and then I got my ID card, and we've been moving on with the CDC USA. But what actually happened when it comes to the CDC USA? You know, our expectation were high, but we were somehow feeling somehow because people who were the hair and they were not acting like how the grassroots movement was funded, because the CDC is a grassroots movement that care for the downtrodden, especially the masses. And also at the end of the day, when the Rema came, so we step aside and were watching. But thank God to you and other people who deemed it necessary to bring us back together. That why I think during the conventions when I was contacted, I immediately came because we wanted to put ourselves together to move the grassroots party forward, because the Liberian people depend on this party. It's a grassroots movement, the masses movement. And also party that this, it doesn't die. Even generation will come, generation will go. CDC will still remain supreme because it's a grassroots party. It's not party that is funded by people who get money. It's not party that is funded by people of high class. It's a party that is funded by somebody from the slum. So even if our generation leave, our children will still remain supreme at CDC. So CDC, as I told people, CDC will always remain supreme in Liberia, no matter if Joy Weah go, other people will still come, because every grassroots movement is very difficult for it to die like that. Like look at the ANC in South Africa. The former liberation movement was funded around 14 something. Up to now, it's still alive. That's part of things that happened to them. But because it's a grassroots party, it doesn't die. Up to now since they took power in 1994, they've been in power throughout. So if you have a grassroots movement like this, no matter people were jealous it because more people have love for it. So people were jealous it, but no matter how the jealousies go high, the party will always remain. So thank you for bringing us on. And our Liberian people are listening. The USA CDC is very strong and has the interim people. We will try our best, along with the official, to make sure that the task given to us will be adhered to. Thank you.
Thank you so very kindly. You touch on something when you talk about the grassroots nature of the party, and I like the way you put it, that this party was funded on the shoulders, of the commoners,
Yes.
people who are not, maybe one would say the really high class people, not part of the very highest of highest, or maybe political gurus that people will know about, but by the people there in the slums, people in the community who have a common political ideology and decide that, look, we can come together to change this nature, this particular nation. Now, how do you intend, especially you and your team, how do you intend to translate that particular grassrootness of the party here in the United States? How do you intend, especially as an interim leader that have come on board to help, bring the organization together, CDC, bring seditions together? How do you intend to work with people to ensure that that grassroots nature of the party is also enshrined in CDC USA? Let's hear from you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Prince. First of all, what we will do is that our task is to make sure that one of our tasks is to make sure that we have a convention that will bring leadership to CDC USA, because right now we have we have two separate groups. You know, we have two separate groups. We have the other one that illegally running and the one that we have. So what we decide to do is that first of all, we will also, those illegal groups will reach them. We'll reach them and say, oh, gentlemen, you know what? CDC is one. The party should not be divided. I think we all can come around town table and discuss, and be one group. So we will do that. We will try by all means to reach them to say, gentlemen, let's come together. And for us, the interim people, I think for me and the whole group, I don't think we have an intention to run during the convention. So that's the best thing, because people, you can't plan convention and again you run in that convention. People will say, oh yeah, it's not fair. So I think we that in leadership now, I don't think we have the intention to run when we organize convention. But the first thing we'll do is that, along with my SG and the president, with the other official, my suggestion is for us to reach to the other people and then have a round town table. Talk to them, gentlemen, this is not fighting. We are fighting for one goal. How can we make CDC USA better? And can we come together? Because togetherness is what our Senate bearer always preach. So we can't be in the United States and divide ourselves. Based on that, I think we can convince them, and we all can come together under one umbrella, and move the organization forward, especially in
Wow.
diaspora.
Thank you. So before we go to the Honorable SG, you keep stressing this issue of united. And I see that this is one of your major tasks. Now, why do you choose, or why do the team choose to do this at this particular time, to bring people together, to unite seditions, that you people can go across the aisle and meet other people and say, look, gentlemen, we are brothers, we are one. Let's sit down. Why is this so important to your team, especially the secretariat, you being a member of the why is it so important? Why don't you just focus on something else? Somebody will say, well, let's focus on all the other things. Why do you want to bring the party together? You are in opposition. Why don't you just sit down? Somebody will say, my man, you just sit down. We in opposition. Don't even bother yourself. Let's just sit down and wait for 2029. Why do you want to start this early to start uniting your people? Let's hear from you, sir, before we go to the Honorable Secretary.
Thank you. Prince, let me make it clear here. The government of Liberia is giving us 100% chances for us returning back to power. But it depends on ourselves before we get back to power, in that we have to unite. We have to unite ourselves to fight the people. We can't be divided and we say we're fighting people. No. Right now, when we are united with one voice, we will be able to succeed. But when we are divided, when we are divided in our own party, then how do we go and face the opponent? So first of all, we have to unite ourselves before we can go and face the opponent. So for us, we will be the baby mother. We will be the baby mother. The interim team will be the baby mother. Our other brothers to the aisle, whatsoever thing they ask of us, we will do it, because we want us to come together so we can be able to succeed come 2029. Because the heart that is divided, it doesn't make good decisions. So first of all, we want unity among us before we can go to make our goal achieve. But actually, what is going on in Liberia now is a clear signal that 2029 will be for us. But we need to unite as one group with one voice before we can go to 2029. So that's our goal.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you so very kindly. I like the way you put it. Your major goal is to. But let's go to Honorable Mogai. You want to come
yes,
in before we ask the question? Yes, sir. Go
yes,
ahead.
I just want to add to him, and I think he said it brilliantly. So at the moment, the CDC is a different institution. Our institution have been revamped, and after our defeat in the past election, we have had our own internal processes to look at things that didn't work well, things that went on well. We're going to build up on them, and things that didn't work well, see how best we can try to properly address them while we rally the support of others to ensure that our institution is more vibrant as we ensure that we win the election in 2029 and provide sound and responsible leadership for our people in Liberia. So, talking about the revamping of the CDC, the CDC is a mass-based political institution. The CDC is an institution formulated to advocate, agitate, and ensure that everything the ordinary people need is being provided. And in that regard, we are also trying to revamp the CDC USA. And in revamping CDC USA, people who have questionable characters, and I'm going to repeat that, people who have questionable characters are not going to hijack our institution for whatever personal means it is. That is unacceptable. And that is one of the reasons why this interim leadership is ensuring that as part of the rebranding process, we are going to unite our institution, bring everyone around the table. In addition to that, we are going to reach out to other patriotic Liberians that have a changed mindset for Liberia so that we can all bring forth our best idea and recommend them to our institution. And the new CDC that we have, and we should also not forget that CDC USA is the intellectual and financial arm of our institution. And in ensuring that our institution is the intellectual and financial arm, we need people who are accountable and people with clean character. We are not open up to people with character liability because the CDC USA is going to show an example so that whenever decision is being made in Liberia, they can use CDC USA as an example in ensuring that we are structuring our team that will actually represent our people. So we are going to unite our party. As my brother said, we are going to reach out to more people. And our approach is going to be a bit different than other political institutions. We are not going to be like other political institutions that will only come to the media. Everything the government does, they just criticize. We are going to criticize when things are not right. We are going to applaud them when things are right. But all of our criticism will be added with recommendation. And that shows that our institution is getting to be more mature and responsible. And the reason why we are providing recommendation because we are not in leadership right now. But our intention is not to feel like we're going down the drain. So that is the reason why when people are in government, we can still bring forth our ideas, telling them how they should lead our people. And if they accept those brilliant ideas that we are going to be presenting as an institution, it's going to help to make our people life better. Because it is an open secret that there's a lot of things going on in Liberia that is unacceptable. And I don't know whether we're going to have a special segment to talk about some of those negative vices that are ongoing in Liberia, but there are a lot of things going on that are unacceptable. And the CDC USA have a responsibility. We have the fiduciary responsibility to ensure that we are advocating for our institution. And as such, we need people who will be able to reach out to national leaders in the United States and be able to approach them and discuss issues relating to our people in Liberia and our institution as a whole. And that is the reason why we are doing our best to unite our people from the party. We are going to reach out to more people, those who are considered former citizens. We are going to reach out to them, people who do not have a political link. We are going to reach out to them and share the good news of the CDC. Hopefully, they accept our message. But in the rebranding process of our party does not have a single space for anyone who have character liability, anyone who think that they have any special access to our institution. Our institution is a mass-based political party. That is the reason why before anyone can be elected into whatever position, you should follow our laws, follow our constitution, and when the people select you, then you can represent the institution. But if you are not being selected
Thank
and you think you can find a shortcut to leadership, trust me, that is going to be wrong. And one of the
thank
reasons why we are doing that is because in Liberia, that is one of the new approaches that we're going to take as an institution. When we are sending people to represent our party in for legislative positions, we are going to make sure that the people in the community will make the decision. Because if that decision emanates from the community, it's going to receive massive support. So we are going to be using the bottom to top approach when it comes to selecting our leaders instead of using the top to bottom approach. So I was just trying to buttress to what my brother said. I think he said it extremely well.
Sure.
And I would like to pause at this point and pay homage to the chairman of CDC USA, Mr. Martin George, who is not on this show, but I salute him and I really appreciate his leadership. He's doing pretty well for the institution, and we are hopeful that with his leadership, we are going to reach at the point that we are nearing, that we are hoping to reach to. Thank you.
Now, I want to ask you this question, right? And I will come to our brother, Honorable Gay. You people, when not working in the government as ministers, or as any kind of, appointed position, you are here in the United States where time is of essence. The 1 hour set that you spend here, or the 40 minutes or 30 minutes is of essence. You can use that to go to work and earn for the family, take care of other family member back home. Why you choose, as a working man? The both of you are, the secretariat, these are all working people. Why you choose to take this particular position? This interim position. Why don't you just sit like others are sitting? Like you talk about, some disenchanted other position. We not enjoy. We say that. In fact, there are some people who choose that low. I'm benefit anything. So I will say that I would have thought nothing about CDC USA. So why you choose this role? You will not be paid. You are going to spend your time. You are going to spend your effort. In fact, you are going to even deprive your family of some of their quality time. The time you were supposed to be using with the family, sometimes you will be on the phone having conversation or in meeting or trying to mitigate, some issues or trying to bring people together. So why you choose this particular, how you call, somebody would say burden, if quote unquote burden, but why you choose this?
So, Prince, for me, I see this as a divine calling in a way such that Liberia as a country, we need change. And the change that we need in Liberia, there's no one from Japan or Pakistan that will drive that change in Liberia. We will have to take that change to Liberia. And the reason why I personally decided to take on this position in the CDC USA is because I see the CDC as the only political vehicle that can drive that change in Liberia and ensure that it emancipates the ordinary people and bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots. And the reason why I'm saying it, and I will start by acknowledging some of the errors that we made. There was some mistake made on our government, like in the other government, there were some errors, and that is inarguable. Nobody can argue that. But there were some practical steps that our government took, President Weah leadership, that attracted me more to this institution. And those actions that I'm going to name further, it showed that our government interest was to ensure that our ordinary people are impacted. They are the one I'm concerned about because I believe that I can live from the United States with all of my education, I can live with finances, but if I move back to my community and everyone around me, they're not working, everyone do not have access to quality education, they don't have access to quality healthcare, I will be placing myself in a serious level of insecurity living among those people. And the insecurity I'm talking about, if some people are not working, some of them, of course, they will come and try to burglarize where I'm living. There are some people who, when their family have any issue, they are going to be knocking on my door. That will be an extra burden. And one of the approach that President Weah took that could have bridged that gap that a lot of us are not talking about. And on the other hand, that was one of the mistakes of the CDC. We didn't talk about some of the good things that we're doing in Liberia. The provision of free education at university and college level. As a person, I believe that education gives you citizenship in society. Had it not been for education, I'm not too sure I'm worthy to be on this platform because I was living in the interior all my life, wherein attending a high school that had a single teacher, middle school, one person teaching from 9th grade up to 12th grade level. I never thought I could have been here. But the provision of free education, like provided by President Weah, that could help a family, that could liberate an entire family from poverty and help to transform their life. For example, if you graduated from high school, say Cestro High School in Riverside County, and you come to Monrovia and maybe you write the test, you pass, and you get access to you enroll at the University of Liberia, and you probably start doing something like maybe let's say nursing. You start doing something like nursing, and after you graduate, if you are fortunate to get a job, your entire family will be able to get $1 or $2 because they have someone in their family working. And a lot of us can overlook some of those gains. But I attended university in Liberia, and I understand the constraint that students at the university went through, that they endure on a regular basis. I remember in 2011, there was a major protest that was being staged by the Student Unification Party, an institution that I served at the time. The protest was advocating to the government to reduce the cost of tuition or credit hours from $150 to $100. So the generational struggle at that point was for fee reduction. So when President Weah came to power, instead of honoring the request of those students to reduce tuition, he canceled tuition, which removed that burden from the head of families and students. I remember when I was in school, this young guy came from Grand Jide. He was living in Papopin. Through the Vanguard Student Unification Party, he was opportune to get a scholarship. But this guy never had, the guy struggled a lot. He never had money to pay the registration fees. And the Student Unification Party were only paying 50% of the scholarship. So this guy, I remember one semester, this guy went to school for half of the semester, and because he could not have accumulated the remaining 2,000 liberty at the time, this guy had to drop from school and he started selling sugar in real life market. I'm talking about a guy who was extremely brilliant. And that brings me to the point of how many young people we have in the interior, in our counties, who are well equipped, and if they are provided the opportunity, they can even articulate better than some of us that do not have the access to quality education because they are not working or there's no one in their family willing to sponsor them in college. So that opportunity provided by President Weah, that was a deal breaker. That could have helped a person to leave from point 0 to point 10. And those are part of the reason why I believe that this institution is a people-centered institution that is actually concerned about the well-being of the ordinary people. And that is the reason why, regardless of how anyone thinks, regardless of some of the minuses, I still do believe in this institution and believe that if we all come back to the table and bring forth our best idea, we can ensure that we can craft a people-centered agenda that we can present to the Liberian people, and collectively we can all help to develop Liberia and build Liberia into a country that we can all feel comfortable to live in, whether you live in the county in Bokonjide, whether you live in Festor, whether you live in wherever it is, you will be able to live, attend school, go to hospital, and live your best life. That is the Liberia that we envisage. And we believe that with the CDC, collectively, we can all drive that change in Liberia.
Thank you so much. With the CDC, collectively, we can all drive that change in Liberia. Let's go to Honorable Gay. Honorable Gay, you talked about, that particular love. You talk about reaching across, not trying to put any barrier or trying to put any border between you and anybody. You want to reach across, you want to serve at that twin mother, and etc. etc. But here is the case. There are others who will say, well, you never took any position in government. You should be resting with your family, should be having a nice time with your family, and you are taking on this particular Herculean task because it's not easy to put people together. You'll be using your resources, you will be calling other people, you will spend time with them on the phone, you'll be encouraging other people, and etc. etc. You will be doing so much. Now, are you doing this because you want position? Somebody will ask, are you doing this because you want position? Are you somebody will say fixing your bed for 2029? Are you eyeing some kind of big government position, or you just want to see a CDC USA that will be more united to give all of the support to Liberia in ensuring that 2029 becomes successful? Why are you doing this? Why are you taking on this responsibility? Why not use the time to say, be like other people, go sit and say, "But not get a job"? Why are you taking this? You got something under your sleeve? Let's hear from you, sir.
Thank you, Prince. Absolutely, I don't have anything under my sleeve. Our generation right now have an obligation to the masses, especially the grassroots.
Hmm.
Our generation, again, I repeat,
Strong.
have an obligation to the mass, the grassroots of our people, our ordinary people. from the villages, from the town, from the cities, who are now up there. We have the obligation to them. So, as you said, this is very tedious. Some people don't want to do it because I just came from work and I could have just found food to eat, relax. But what my thinking is that, okay, I will relax today. But what will I tell my children tomorrow? What will the people say about me when I'm gone? What are some of the sacrifices I have made to make Liberia better? So based on that, if I will not sleep, but if I succeed by bringing CDC together and speak in one voice to retake power 2029, I'll be so pleased. Instead of eating my good food and just sleep and add nothing, I'm not obligated to anybody. Because what we are doing here today, Prince, is, President Weah did his best to open the eyes of this grassroots Liberian. And right now, you see, when he's walking in the street of Monrovia, the children are chanting, everybody wants to come to him. The mistake they made after 1 year, they realized it is that, Prince, let me tell you, in those days, some of us, we saw 1980, we saw 1985, we saw a lot of things. In those days, if somebody became president, they import the leaders, they import directors. I'm not talking about ministers, directors. They import them from America to go and work. People who suffer behind people to even be elected, they will lead them down and they come to America and take the people who work in groom home, who work in nursing home, who tow in cattle and carry them to Liberia, get them minister job, get them director job, and our people who on the ground suffer begin to worship them again. But when President Joy Weah became president, he changed the scenario. He changed the scenario. And these are some of the reasons why the people hate him so bad. Because he said that, but if the person get BSc in America and the other person get BSc in Liberia, so where is the essence? And the same ABC they learn. They may not get BSc in Liberia, I will take him. There's no need for me to bring a man from over there and the man charging 15,000, 20,000. When the man I get BSc in Liberia, I can start again and get 5,000. So during Joy Weah government, no one was imported. Majority of our brothers who suffer will all work. And these are some of the crown today they took against him. Why he did not come here to take the people working in groom home to go over there and then work, and our brother who suffer, they should worship them like before. But for me, as I said, as my secretary said, we have an obligation to our brothers, especially the commoner, as we said. We need to do things that tomorrow they will say, yeah, when these people were here, they plotted. We need to apply a good map for them. That when they come to, they should not go back to worship though 1% of people in Liberia will call Congo people, then 99% worship them. So that's our obligation right now, to make our people to know, to apply the map that will be found that from our generation when they come. Instead of importing people from here, when they have the same qualification, they will stay out of Joy Weah to say, oh, amen, graduate and amen, graduate. I think the qualification are the same. Let me employ the person. If you study the history of Joy Weah was the only president that came to power, and majority of his ministers, deputy ministers, directors were grassroots, were people who were from Monrovia there, were people who were from the slum community, were people who were nowhere. They become somebody. So we need to follow that same step. So spending my time talking to our people or coming on the Palawa Hub. We explain the policies. We explain how we feel. To explain how we get a loan to make CDC USA a vibrant. Because right now we are the financial arm of the organization. We are not in power now. You know, and another thing I will bring to the table is that that's why when we got power, some of us were not benefited, and but nevertheless, we still need to support the party. Not everybody can be absorbed by a government.
Wow.
So I don't think people should be disenchanted because I don't get job, so I don't see this here again. No, your time will come. But for me, Prince, let me be frank with you. I'm not eyeing like, okay, when we come back to power, I want a job. No, I'm just doing it because these parties depend on us. The masses, the 99% of the Liberians depend on us. So we need to stand up to make sure that they receive what they want.
This is profound. This is
In
profound
doing
coming
that,
from you.
we need to unite and move with one voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is profound coming from you. I like the way you end it. It's not about self, if I would paraphrase it, but it's for, the common good of everybody. I really, really like, what you said. Like one of, a very, very good, one would say, pillow of this particular country that we find ourselves in. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So I really want to
Yeah.
really thank you. The way you put it is really profound, and I really appreciate it. But let's come to Honorable Chokon. Honorable Chokon, I know the CDC USA, this interim team, is going to be having a lot of program, and one of the issue that, from what we have gathered, that you guys will be looking at, is going to be the issue of this the launch of your own dollar rally, but that's going to be a kind of $5 rally, and you are going to be using another advanced approach, one would say, using the internet, putting people together via Zoom. You're going to bring people together. You are going to have the program on Zoom. Now, why you choose to invest in technology at this time, especially using technology to disseminate an information, to be able to have this program? So why this interim team wants to do that, especially when it comes to the launch of the $5 rally, where you're anticipating to bring almost about 300 person online, you can have that. Why not do it the traditional way? People say, let's call other people, let them come together, let's meet somewhere. But you want to use the online method. Let's hear from you why, sir.
Yep. So the reason why we are hoping to launch that program is because as part of the fiduciary responsibility of CDC USA, we should be serving as the financial arm of the CDC in particular. And in ensuring that we are fully discharging that responsibility, we need to start developing innovative means through which we can try to get resources to support our institution in Liberia. Because we are in opposition right now. We have a lot of young people in our party who did not directly benefit from government jobs or benefit from the government. But as an institution, we still do have the responsibility to ensure that we are concerned in taking care of the welfare and well-being of those people by providing them education, employment opportunities, and what have you. So we decided that the dollar rally that was held in Liberia, we are going to replicate that in the United States, but we're going to use a different strategy. And the strategy that we're going to deploy is that we have several chapters, but America is structured in a way such that people work on a regular basis. It's not like Liberia where on Saturdays people do not work. So the chairman and the executive committee have decided that we are going to work with our various chapters so that they can each organize their own event at the chapter level. And then, in addition to the chapter events, we are going to host a nationwide Zoom $5 rally, wherein we are expecting to have approximately about 2,000 to 3,000 Liberians from all walks of life, not just citizens, but peace and loving Liberians who are interested in the development of Liberia, so that we can try to get them on board, bring forth their resources, and we also will use that opportunity to cross-pollinate ideas on policy issues about Liberia, because we we are actually concerned about the trajectory Liberia is on. And What I'm about to say, it might not be the right thing to say, it might not be politically correct, but I'm going to say it. As a people, we the Liberian people, we need to ensure that the quality of our decision should be technically looked at. For example, we should not be electing people who does not have a single emblem of leadership. We should not be electing people who have served in previous positions without a single deliverable. And that is what we did with this guy, this older guy that we elected as president, Mr. Bwaka. This guy presided over the most corrupt Senate in Liberia history. It was under this guy's leadership of the Senate, because the vice president is the president of the Senate. It was under this guy's leadership that we started hearing about brown envelope being distributed in the Capitol building. As a young change maker, if I'm working with 1,000 persons and everybody are glued or accepting the act of accepting brown envelope, if I'm real a change maker, I'm going to be able to transform at least 1 or 2 persons to be the change that I preach. But you cannot say you are opposed to corruption, you are an anti-corruption hero, and you work in the most corrupt Senate and you are not able to transform that institution. It shows that you too are corrupt, and there's no better way to say it. So the Liberian people saw a guy who was corrupt and we elected him. Apart from that, this guy presided over the Senate and co-presided over the Republic for 12 years without a single deliverable, and nobody talking about it. He also served at LPMC and LPRC, and there's not a single signature project that he can point to say, when I was at LPRC or LPMC, I did X, Y, and Z, and Liberia in 2025, we are benefiting from it. There's not a single thing that he can point to. And I think that is a shame. That is an embarrassment. And as part of the reason why we are going to be hosting this dollar rally, because our institution, we want to reach out to our people. We want to conscientize them so that they can know what are the qualities that they should be looking for in their leaders. Because you can't complain all day, you say, oh, the lawmaker, when we elect them, they can only distribute money on themselves. And then we are still electing people because they are bringing rice or money to us, or because they are falsely providing information about other people. That is unfortunate. We should see people based on their experience and based on their ability to deliver, then we can go ahead and elect them. But if we keep electing people who are doing the same thing over and over, like our instance say, and we expect them to do something different, that doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen anywhere. Like, for example, this guy, he criticized everything the CDC did, which is not bad as an opposition party. Of course, as a responsible opposition, after criticizing, you should provide recommendation. But they criticized everything, and one of the things that they criticized was the free tuition policy that was inaugurated by President Weah. We expected this government that after serving for 15 months, they would have provided an alternative policy that will ensure that they either beef up the free tuition policy, or if they have issue about the quality of education, make sure that they try to put or bring forth an agenda that will address the quality of education. Like, for example, if you talk about the quality of education, we are talking about investing in teachers' quality and how you can go about doing that, sending our teachers abroad, ensuring that people in the classroom, they are actually teachers. Because I'm in the United States, I did my master's over here. There's not a single person who have a master's degree taught me. And even those who taught me, although they had doctoral degree, but in addition to your doctoral degree, you need to have some practical experience. So that, for example, if you are teaching econometrics or maybe development economics, and you are providing me the theories, and those theories sound a bit high level for me, you can provide me some practical experience based on some of the industry that you have worked in. So what is the government doing to ensure that the quality of education that they criticized under the 6th year of President Weah, what are they doing to improve that? And maybe they are forgetting. Under President Weah, we invested heavily in teachers' quality and ensuring that our teachers were spending time in class. And to start from the bottom, to ensure that teachers were spending more time in class, after President Weah's first year in power, he bought motorbikes and vehicles subsequently, and distributed it with all of the CEOs and DEOs, the county education officers and district education officers, to ensure that people who were receiving their salaries, they were going to the classroom and providing our students the quality of education that they need. Number 2, our government conducted a rigorous assessment in all of the counties, ensuring that people who are in the classroom, they are actually teachers. And those who were unqualified, we were not just taking them off the payroll to put them in poverty, but the government was sponsoring them, at the same time providing them their regular pay while they went to either the KRTT, the Rural Teacher Training Institution, so that they can be able to develop themselves and come back and do and perform the tasks that they were doing. So I think the government was not responsible. And everything that they criticize, the government doesn't have a clear agenda. And just to conclude on this point, Prince, how you can tell if a government have a well-defined agenda. Like when the government came to power in the inaugural address, the president said that drug was a national emergency. When a president speaks, that is a policy statement. If you say a particular issue is a national emergency, it means that the government is going to shift her attention to that issue to ensure that that issue is either eradicated or there are some measure put in place to put some checkpoint so that that issue, the prevalence of that issue can stop increasing but rather decreasing. But this government came to power, look at the budget, because you can have all of the best platform, but after providing all of your platform, which is the political literature, to showcase your interest and intent, how intentional you are to implement what you have on your platform, your budget should speak that in that same tone. Look at the national budget. The national budget didn't prioritize drug. I think they allocated about, if I'm not mistaken, I think 1 or 2 million for drug program in Liberia without any deliverable. At this point, and the people criticize the CDC. They say people in the CDC they don't know book. And at the time in 2005, they were probably right because some of us we were the ones who were supporting President Weah. But guess what? We were in the interior in high school. We were considered illiterate people. We were considered poor people. So our voices were not heard. So we thought those people who were criticizing the CDC and the people who were part of the CDC, they had all of the best plan. At this point, I rather thought this government that had all of the educated people would have transformed our budgetary system in a way such that if the government allocate 1 million for education, that 1 million should be tagged with a deliverable so that when they go for a cabinet meeting, for example, if it is my brother Augustine, who's the health minister, at the cabinet meeting, the president should say, okay, Augustine, at the beginning of the fiscal year, you say you needed 1 million and you're going to do X, Y, and Z in the education sector. Now we're at the cabinet meeting. What are your deliverables? Because you have already expanded the entire 100 million or 1 million. What are your deliverables? But look at the budget. We have a huge segment of the budget going into people's pockets, and there's a whole lot of unorthodox things that are ongoing. There's no accountability. The government have showcased herself to be extremely corrupt and one of the most corrupt in the political history of Liberia. They are even more corrupt than the Judy Bryan government. And I think at this point we need leadership. We need leadership, and I'm going to close on this point. We need leadership, and the reason why I say we need leadership, Mr. Bwaka, he was able to show the Liberian people that he was this responsible leader that could have driven the change that the Liberian people wanted. The Liberian people didn't elect Bwaka because Weah was the West president. No, I don't think so. I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. But President Weah is the hope of the Liberian people. He was the hope before being elected. He's still the hope of the Liberian people. The expectation of our people was extremely high when President Weah came to power. Their thinking was President Weah could have addressed all of the issues that we had within that short space. And another thing was that when we were in leadership, there was a transition into the technological age. The Gen Z generation started using social media, and our party wasn't upbeat to start ensuring that we are countering the guys from the opposition, some of their lies that they told about our institution. Like, for example, somebody said President Weah printed 18 million and the government stole the whole money. I think 18 billion. That is unrealistic. How can an economist say that? How will government print 18 billion and take that entire money from the economy? How much money do we have in circulation in the economy? I think the people from the United Party that claim to be the most educated people, they made a mistake, and the mistake that they made, it caused Liberia a huge level of inflation that our government was able to clean up. And the mistake that they made was that before money can be printed in any economy, I stand to be corrected. Anyone can come online and correct me. Before money can be printed in any economy, there are a few things that are needed to be done. The first thing that need to be done is the government needs to ensure that they have a clear understanding of the total amount of money that is in circulation in the economy. After knowing that, then you will go and calculate how much is being mutilated, the TL Liberian dollars, and then decide how much needs to be infused in the economy so that you can be able to take out those tier money from the economy. But our Liberian government didn't do it. We went ahead and we print 18 billion. The money came back to Liberia. I think a huge segment of that money came during the leadership of Madam Sirleaf. It was being infused in the economy. That is the reason why we had a high level of inflation under the CDC government. And then when we came in, the mop-up exercise, it might personally have its own demerits, but I think that was the best economic approach that was introduced by the CDC. And the reason why,
Wow.
for example, my mom sell in the market. All of the money that this woman have, she will never take it to the bank. The woman never saw bank door one day. And I'm talking about people who having more than 100,000 liberty. They keep it under the
Hmm.
bed. So we have a huge segment of the Liberian dollar being kept in the informal sector of the economy. So before the government print money, the government needed to have a clear appreciation of how much we have in the informal economy, ensure that the design of means that will attract people to take their money from the informal economy, take them to the bank, so the government can know how much we have in circulation, and then they can go ahead and do the printing and distribution of new money. But the United Party government went ahead and they didn't address all of those issues, and they just started printing money, and then the economy started experiencing inflation. The Liberian people started to feel the backdrop of that. That is the reason why the Liberian people started getting angry on the president. Things prices started going up. That was natural. But what we did
Thank.
as a government, we ensured that we reduced tariff on commodities like rice. And the government had a very, very good plan that I thought President Bwaka would have implemented. President
All right.
Weah,
So I just want to hold you there. We'll come there. We'll come there. We'll take a time and come there. But I want to go to Honorable Gay. Honorable Gay, you are seeing everything that is going on in Liberia, starting from the disrespect of the rule of law from this particular government. As you may be aware, the Honorable Funati Kofa case, he went to court and asked that the court intervene, the court which is, the final arbiter of justice, the Supreme Court. The rule that, look, everything that you guys did as majority bloc was illegal and you should do what is right. And the president of the Republic of Liberia came up and said, as far as he is concerned, he is going to work with the illegal people who call themselves majority. And we are seeing the disrespect for the rule of law. The rights of people are being trampled upon. So you, as seditionists, even though you are an interim head of the organization here in the U.S., you are still going to be part. So how do you intend? I mean, how the CDC USA under your leadership intend to be able to ensure that the government of Liberia under Joseph Numa Boeka respect the rule of law? You are not in Liberia. I remember few years back, there were some of our people here who were saying, bring sanction to Liberia. They were on, at the Capitol building, carry sanction to Liberia, do this to Liberia. But you are more organized and so how do you intend to ensure that the government of Liberia respect the rule of law and not maybe doing anything unorthodox or calling suffering for your people? So how do this leadership intend to do that? Let's hear from you, sir.
Thank you, Prince. Prince, the biggest mistake Librarian ever made is to elect someone who can manage himself after serving 12 years as vice president. He was not able to manage himself to say come and manage the country. That's the biggest mistake Librarian ever made. President Bouakai served as a vice president for the Senate for 12 years. And after 2 years, when they got out of office, he was not able to take himself to the hospital. If it were not George Weah, Kennedy, that puppy is dead, gone. Is that type of person who say he come and rescue you, and you say, yeah, the man who can rescue me? So the biggest mistake ever in electing official in Liberia is electing that old papi. The first of all, it was glaring, Prince. The man is not able to manage himself. That type of person, you say the man will manage the country? That while always on spoon talk, they say, who in charge? The papa is not in charge. He doesn't know what he's doing. There is a president for our country who travel and he doesn't bring nothing back. He take the taxpayer money and go somewhere and he come back with empty hands. But I enjoy one guy on Spoon TV. After when Bouakai make that statement and others representative was supporting them. He said, whatsoever you guys are doing is treasonable. But right now, you guys are in power. We don't have anything to do, but we'll mark it. We'll be keeping track on your behavior. The next time when things changes, we'll go for you guys one by one, and you guys will pay the price of taking the law in your own hands. For the Supreme Court to speak, and you guys from majority block defying Supreme Court, we are marking you guys one. If things changes in the future, will come for you guys, and you guys will bear the full weight of the law. Like what that guy was saying. He's one of the counselors on Spoon TV. And that's it. There's no part of the world that the Supreme Court will rule and a common citizen will say, no, the thing you say that lie. We don't do it. You know. But as I said, when you were not here, I said, the man who is not able to manage himself, is he able to manage a nation? The Papa served as vice president for 12 years. And after, when they left power 2 years, he got sick. He was not able to take himself to hospital. If it were not George Weah, time the day the Papa is dead, gone. It's that type of person that came to you and say, I will rescue you. And you say, yeah, can you rescue us? So right now, after less than 2 years, the government become unpopular to the Liberian people. You know, but when it comes to rule of law, Prince, you know, government go, government come. Right now, they are in power and they are violating our organic law, you know, that every one of us supposed to be submitted to. But because they are in power, they are kicking it. But mind you, tomorrow, if you are out of power, somebody can wake up that case and you can be prosecuted for that. So while
Wow.
all the coon and the other people are running around here, they feel that, okay, we are in power, nobody can touch us because the executive behind us. But mind you, when the government changes tomorrow, you can be arrested and you can be prosecuted and sent to prison. So,
Wow.
you
Definitely.
know, yeah, so
Definitely.
they have to be mindful. You know, they have to be mindful. You know, what Waka did as a
Hmm.
president, you know, it make the investors that are planning to go to Liberia scary. Because if the people look at the president to say, oh yeah, the people who supposed to make justice, that Supreme Court is the last arbiter of law in every country. When they speak, whether you like it or not, you forced to adhere to it. And as the president of the nation, will come and say, okay, Supreme Court, you say, hey, but me pa, are going on the other side. So you expect people who get money to go and invest in that type of country where the people there, they can't respect the law, especially down to the president. So the hard time in Liberia is just starting because people are watching us. And the way the government proceeding wrongly like that, not a real investor will go Liberia to go invest their money where people don't respect the rule of law.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
our advocacy print, as you
Mm-hmm.
know, this is
Yeah.
in USA, we are not in power now, but we will make sure as a secretariat to document these things that tomorrow
Hmm.
when things changes, those people who they respect our law will feel the full weight of the law.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so
We'll
very
go for
kindly.
them, they will be prosecuted by the law.
Wow. You know, when people in America say we will document, it's something to be afraid of because when these people say they will document, they will really document. You know, it doesn't take how long, but once they are documenting, they will definitely document and come at you at the appropriate time. We'll come back to you, but let's go to Honorable Chokomoga. Honorable Chokomoga, you are a living witness. You are seeing these things, you participate in discussions, and people are complaining relative to the disrespect of the rule of law, how in fact the government is not proceeding in the right way. They have denied citizens the right to express themselves. We saw what happened with the students when they came out to express their dissatisfaction that their teachers were not paid and they were out of school. We saw the police, descending on them using live bullets, even on protesters and etc. We are seeing, inflammatory statements from operative of the government, the EPS director, who said that, they will take protection from other people who criticize the government, and all of these negative vibes. Now, what will the CDC USA, especially the secretariat, what will be your role with all of these disrespect? Will you just sit and fold your arms and say, okay, let the people go ahead? What I'm not saying give us all of your strategy here, because there's an open medium where we have people watching us from across the globe. You are not going to give us all of your strategy, but what is it that you are going to be doing to ensure that this government, is corrected, to put this government feet to the fire, and now waiting for maybe 10, 15, or 25 years or whatever? But what will you be doing currently to ensure that this government feet is placed to the fire? Let's hear from you on that, sir.
So, President Bouaka is the head of state, but he does have his employer, and his employers are the Liberian people, the ordinary Liberian people. So, in the midst of all of the constitutional violations that are ongoing and their disrespect to the rule of law, we are going to ensure that we keep engaging our people. And that is the reason why we are trying to get some new faces on board with the CDC USA, people with credible character that will be able to reach out to their friends, families, and the public at large to tell them about some of what is going on, to get their ideas, and we're going to ensure that after all of those focus group discussion, where we're going to discuss cross-cutting issues that are affecting our people, government policy, government action, government disrespect to the rule of law. We are going to formulate policy documents that is going to be used at the national and international level for advocacy purposes. Advocating to the government to become more responsible. We are also going to be sending out those information to some of our partners in and near Liberia, Monrovia, so that they can have a clear understanding of how the ordinary people think. And that is going to be a new approach in our politics, where a political party will not just be advocating and articulating the view of their political leaders, but rather they are going to be reaching out to their people to understand how their people feel about the way in which they are being governed by this government. And then after collecting all of their ideas, we're going to formulate policy documents that will be distributed at the international and national level. And that shows some of the transformation that the CDC is going to take before coming to leadership. And our transformation process is not just limited to our opposition life, but we have some enlightened plan that will be implemented when we come back to government. But from the actions and inactions of this government, it tells you that this government lacks focus and the government doesn't have a clear direction for the state. That is the reason why they are provided this opportunity to provide leadership, but they are still behaving like people who are in campaign mood, where they are still thinking that they are fighting a political battle with President Weah, who doesn't even care about their operation. But let me tell you, when President Weah was president, people have a lot to say about his education. This guy, he was president of Liberia, and there were issues in the lower house and even the upper house. There have been agitation where people wanted to have changed the speaker, the pro tem, and other people serving in the first branch of government. We understand that we have three but separate branches of government, but President Weah was able to demonstrate his leadership in ensuring that all of those issues were being hijacked from the beginning point. He didn't allow them to escalate to something bigger that no one could have control. That shows leadership. If the first branch of government is not working, the government is not going to work because we need the three branches to work together. And the most unfortunate part is that this leadership of Mr. Bouaka was being heavily supported by even CDC lawmakers, meaning all of the agenda that they brought forth, lawmakers from the CDC were voting in favor of it. Some of our lawmakers voted in favor of the budget. They had some agenda that they brought forth, and we supported it because from the CDC, we think political leadership is like a cultural dance, wherein if Prince is given the opportunity to dance, Prince should come to the stage and show all of the stars that he have. But when it is the time for Chokon, we should allow Chokon to have the stage. He should be able to dance and do whatever he wants to do before turning over to Augustine. That is the reason why, if you can notice, for the entire first year of our leadership, we have not done anything to disrupt the operation of this government.
Hmm.
We are providing them the space to provide the leadership and to lead the transformation that they promised the Liberian people. And I think that was a very, very good approach, because had the CDC been demonstrating, they would have scapegoat their mistake and said it's because of the CDC demonstration. That is the reason why we are not having investors coming to Liberia. That is the reason why they are not implementing their project. For 1 year in power, there's not a single signature project the government can point to. There's not a single thing that this government can point to say that they have been in power for more than 18 months and they have done X, Y, and Z. Unlike President Weah, I remember the first year of President Weah at this time, we were already seeing the construction of the Dole Community Road. We're seeing some major contribution that the government was making. And smart was being gradually restored on the faces of our people. But with this government, I think it's different. It's quite different, and that is because this government doesn't have direction. They underestimated the tax that was laid before them to provide leadership for our people. They thought what the CDC was doing was something that they could have just done without ensuring that they have an agenda. And I stand to be corrected, but what happened in the developed world is that if Prince is the head of this country and I'm the opposition leader, while serving in the opposition, that provides me the space to look at things that are working, look at things that are not working, and see how best I can try to develop a policy prescription that will address those things that are not working, so that whenever I'm elected, I can pick up on day one and start working. As a government, you need to have a plan. As a political party advocating for political leadership, you should be ready on day one to provide leadership. There's no reason why a political party should come to power and after 1 year before you can provide your national agenda. It shows that the Liberian people elected, they were not prepared. They never had a plan. Unlike the CDC, that we campaign with our proper agenda for prosperity and development. But this government, they came to power before they had a retreat, and they provided a document that have not even been distributed to the public because it's still being modified. So I think the government is not prepared. They are still in campaign mood, but we are going to help them to exit the campaign mood, because as a decent and responsible political institution, we are going to hold their feet close to the fire. And a way in which we're going to do that is to ensure that we are going to be highlighting some of the errors that they are making. We are going to be providing them recommendation, and we are going to be informing their employers so that their employers can get to understand some of the mistake that this government is making, and know that the mistake that they made, they should repent from that mistake. It should not be repeated.
Thank you so very kindly. So again, fellow Liberians, we are in conversation with our members of the Secretariat of the CDC USA interim team, headed by Honorable Chokon Mogai. We are in conversation with them. So again, you've listened to them. We will transition to other political issue, and I know we'll have the time to bring them on. The Secretariat, they will be very regular whenever the time, because these are busy people. When the time affords, we come here and discuss issues of national, importance. But again, we want to say to those of you who are listening, we're going to put out a number. We know that some of you will have questions, comments, or concern for the team. Those of you that will have questions, that will have comments, or that you will have concerns, you can always placing your call. The number is there. 443-991-3356 is that number to call and place in your call as we go with our last round with the team, because we are expecting another guest here as we go over our last round. Again, the number to call is 443-991-3356 if you have a question, comment, or concern for the team. But I want to go to Honorable Gay. Honorable Gay, you talk about documenting, which is very important. Documenting, what the government is doing, so that at the appropriate time you can be able to take the necessary action. But let's come to the CDC USA. I really like to put you on this, because you talk about you playing, or the team playing a kind of motherly role, where you feed the child on the left, feed the child on the right. But I want to ask you, is this particular leadership, is it open to other people? Maybe one would say, well, I've been listening, I have been here as sedition, in the USA. I didn't even know what was happening, but now that I've gotten this information about CDC USA, they're trying to come together to put things together. How can I reach the secretariat? Maybe one will ask that particular question. So if somebody is now listening, maybe who is not a seditian, and they want to reach the secretariat, you can answer. Honorable Mugai is also going to answer, whichever we answer first. How can people reach the secretariat? How can people reach you guys and say, since you are planning this program of the $5 rally, how can they reach you to ensure that they are also either in chat rooms or whatsoever place so that they can be connected? Do you care to talk to us about it?
Yeah, thank you, Prince. As I said, Prince will have almost 500,000 of citizens living in America here. But majority of them has been disenchanted for what been going on between us here. You know. But I think since we funded the interim leadership, we see a lot of people are coming by graciously. And as I said, if you guys hold together and speak in one voice, things happen for you. But if you guys are divided, and try to move on something, it doesn't go easily because you have a lot of divisions among among you. Right now, we know that there are a lot of people around that are standing on the fence. But as a secretariat, we try to reach out, like in my town, in my city here. I have a lot of solutions here. And the other time when you guys were asking, I gave you some names, to be added in the chat room. And now they ask me all the time. I say, oh yeah, when we're having general meeting, we'll bring you on board. So we are now, we will work hard. The idea is that we'll try by all means to bring all the citizens and Liberians that are in America that want to see the good of Liberia together and make sure that things work for everybody. We are not fighting it for ourselves, but we are fighting it for our people. The people who see President Weah as their light in the darkness, you know, because this party is a grassroots party, and a lot of people believe in it. So we all need to rally around to make sure that things go well. So, to answer your question, we are waiting to speak to anybody. We are waiting to talk to anybody who want to come back, especially the disenchanted musicians here who went to Liberia to get job and they were not able to get job. We want to take the million to tell them that don't feel bad. The government can't give everybody job. Come back to your party. And we still have long time ahead of us. The next time you will be a complete beneficiary. But for me, personally, I'm not doing it for job, but I just want to tell people that the party depend on us now. That tomorrow our children and grandchildren will say, oh, our parents planted mad goods, so we all need to protect it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to go to Honorable Mugai. Honorable Mugai, uh, what are you guys doing? I mean, what will you guys be doing to reach out? Do you have like a kind of, whether it be a Facebook page or whether it be a whatever page? How can people reach out to this new interim team? Because there are some people who are listening and say, look, I want to get to the team. With what I'm hearing, it sounds good. Yes, like Honorable Gay said, there are people who were disenchanted but decided that, look, this is our party. We'll come together. So how can people reach to the secretariat? Let's hear from you, sir, on this.
Yep, so the secretariat can be reached. We do have our official Facebook page. It is titled CDC USA Secretariat. But better still, you can also reach out to any one of us on this show. You can reach out to Prince. You can reach out to Mr. Augustine Chi. You can reach out to myself or anyone out in the CDC, and the entire leadership is open. But when it comes to general outreach, the chairman does have a plan for the leadership team to visit each and every chapter before the end of this leadership. And the intent of those visitations is to ensure that the chairman of our party will be able to inspire and reach out to citizens and even non-citizens who are sitting on the fence. We are talking about people who are non-member of political party, telling them about the new CDC and seeing how best we can all work together. So we're going to be reaching out to different chapters. We are going to be having events at those chapters to attract more new members. And we are also going to be using our social media platforms. And in addition to this show, there are going to be additional means through which that will be developed subsequently for both the women wing, the internal leadership, the elder council to be reaching out either on the social media, through radio program, television program, and through our county and state visitation. We are going to reach out to each and every county that have Liberians. We are going to talk to every Liberian if possible to make sure that they have a clear understanding of our agenda, inviting them to come on board, knowing that the CDC is a work in progress so that we can all bring forth our best idea in crafting a political party that they would like to see. And that is what the CDC represents. So like you can see on the screen, that is our official Facebook page. It is the CDC USA Secretariat. But better still, you can still reach out to Prince. If you cannot get to that page, you can reach out to Mr. Augustine Gay. You can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Chairman Manon George or anyone in CDC leadership, asking them to reach out to the leadership, and they will be able to direct you.
Sure, definitely. Thank you so very kindly. Again, fellow Liberians, we have here the CDC USA Interim Team Secretariat. They are here with us and explaining issues, relative to Liberia and that of the team. So there is a kind of, one would say, very unique website that they have, a Facebook page. Let me pin this right here while we are talking. I'm going to see if I can pin this. The Secretariat has a page, and that is going to be one of the official medium through which they are going to be communicating whatever to the people there. So it's right there. You will see it there, CDC USA Secretariat. You will see it right there, CDC USA Secretariat. Let me try to pin it right here so that those of you who maybe are okay, let me get it right here. Okay, it's pinned right here so that those of you who want to reach, you can reach there. But like he said, you can reach us. I know some of you are not in the chat rooms. The CDC USA activities is not just restricted to chat rooms. No, these people are going to be going outside. They are going to be interacting with people. They are going to be calling people. So you can always call us. For us, the number 443-991-3356 is our number. You can always reach us. If you want to be out in a chat room, if there's any information that you have, you can definitely reach out to us, and we'll definitely do that. But come on, guy, before we take leave of you, again, fellow Liberians, you can give us a call and let's hear from you. The number to call is 443-991-3356. That's the number to call and participate. You have a question, you have comments, you have concern. We are definitely going to pick it up. Again, the number to call, 443-991-3356 is that number to call and make your comments, make your suggestions. If you have a suggestion for the team, you can make suggestion for the team. If you have a comment, you can make comment for the team. Whatever it is. We want to say welcome to some distinguished people that have joined us. We are here with the CDC USA Secretariat. We want to say welcome to a few of our people that we're seeing here because of limitation of technology. But Juju, when we want to say thank you, following us there from Liberia. Isaac CB Chia, thank you so much. Following us here from Broville, thank you so very kindly. J. Larry Talu, thank you so much for joining us. James Boy, thank you so very kindly for presence here. We will be Sharif joining us here from VOA Community, Liberia. I show VOA in Liberia. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I want to welcome Dr. Elizabeth M. Gay, the Deputy Chair for Administration of the Interim Team CDC USA. You are highly welcome. Dr. Mary Sokolo Scott Wilson, you are highly welcome. Thank you for joining us. The Advisory Council is here. And all of you, Brother Emmanuel from the YouTube channel, you are joining us. Thank you. So when you look there, you will see the Secretariat, official page. There is it. It say our team, CDC USA Secretariat. You're going to see it there. And that's where the information, is on the place. So again, you can give us a call. 443-991-3356 is that number to call, and let's hear from you. But Choko Magai, as we run down. Let's go to Honorable Gay while we, try to run this down and then go to other issue and receive our other guests. What will you like to say to Liberians? I mean, Liberians, especially here in the U.S., who maybe have not made up their mind as it relates to being part of any political party, or other people who are seriously disenchanted. They may be sedition, or other people who are members of the Unity Party, but now they have lost hope at all and say, look, this is not why we voted for. We have lost hope in the party, or we have lost hope in the dealings of this government, of the Unity Party government. What would be your word to them as you, lead this secretariat to, a more inclusive CDC USA? What do you want to say to them? What's going to be your word to them, sir?
Thank you, Prince. What I want to say to them is that I want to tell them there is still hope, and the hope is our light in the darkness. Always, President Weah. We know that your expectation in the so-called rescue mission is not what you expected, but I want to encourage you that in darkness, light is still coming. So we're asking everybody to join us. We are responsible opposition. Since the Unity Party got in chair, you have not seen any demonstration than them. Our first day in office, the next day was demonstration, was last. But for us, the CDC is a responsible opposition that since they've been in power for 18 months, you have not seen any demonstration from our side. Because CDC is always want to make Liberia to be better. So we always give you time to perform. Since you say you can perform more than us, yeah, that's your time to perform. But unfortunately, they are shooting themselves in their own feet. So we are asking everybody, whether you are Unity Party or whether you are sedition or you are not part of any political party, please join us that we all come together under one hand, brother, to see Liberia rise again come 2029. Thank you.
You muted, Prince. We can't hear you. You muted.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, sir. What word do you have for your people? We're going to fun time again, to bring in the team where strictly we are going to be talking about political matters. But again, we don't want to stress your time off. Maybe the next time we're going to inform you, you will actually come prepared and you will have the latitude of time. But for now, they say when you have an opportunity to meet the king, you got to be careful how you talk and you got to take time with the benefits that you want from him so that you are not discouraging the next time when you see you coming, say, oh, man, they make and demand too much. So small. So, what is the last word you have for your people as you hear this secretariat? What is it you want for your people to hear, especially those that are out there, those that may be disenchanted, those that may be, downhearted, and even members of the ruling party, the Unity Party? There are some of them who are very, very much disenchanted. Say, this is not what we are expecting. But what do you have to say to your people? I mean, CDC USA, as you take on this responsibility.
Well, let me start by appreciating the people of CDC USA for entrusting our leadership, and to our dynamic chairman, Mr. Manon George, for affording us the opportunity and blessing to come on this public platform to articulate the view of our institution. To Liberians out there, and I'm saying Liberians because that includes seditions, unity partisans, and people from different political institutions. I don't know how long ago have you been in Liberia, but Liberia is extremely hard right now. Our people are living in their motherland like they are refugees. There's no job being created by this government. The issue of unemployment have been an age-old issue. There is limited access to quality education for those who live in the counties and rural areas. Our women are still passing off, they are still dying in childbirth because we don't have the sophisticated medical technologies, and we don't have nurses and doctors in some of those counties. And after being, as a country, after being in existence for 100 plus years, I think we are all not happy with where Liberia is. And this government have her agenda. That is what they are implementing. If you are okay with the agenda of this government, if what this government is doing, if it has solved all of what you wanted to have seen in Liberia, I will encourage you to remain with them. If they are providing job, if they are ensuring that the gap between haves and have-not are being addressed, if they are transitioning the quality of education or they are changing the quality of education in rural areas so that it can be commensurated with that of the quality of education in urban areas, if the quality of healthcare, if the living condition of our people is changing, then you can remain with them. But the CDC brings you hope. The CDC as an institution is asking you to bring forth all of your expertise, whatever you have to contribute, even if there's something that you just envisage for Liberia. For the simple fact that you have a thought for a better and brighter Liberia, we are asking you to come on this table. The CDC is not nobody father or mother property. It's nobody personal property. It's for all of us. So we are asking you to come on board so that we can all bring forth our best ideas and design a plan that will be able to, or design that we're going to be designing a plan that will speak to the Liberia that we want. All of the challenges that we are seeing in Liberia, that plan will be able to address them. And after doing that, as a member of the institution, we are all going to be able to draft that plan. And that is the reason why my brother Augustine said he doesn't want to job. For me, I want to job in Liberia. I want to be a teacher. That is a job in Liberia. And I want to be a teacher because when I was growing up, I was a victim of the bad quality of education in Liberia. And I was fortunate to have received a scholarship. But the guy who gave me the scholarship, I think he felt that it was unfortunate because I was granted a scholarship in a Methodist school wherein teachers started asking me to put money in copybook instead of writing my test and taking assignment. My mother sold in the market. She would not, I never took recess to school until I left Liberia. Never. Never lived in a better house than a zinc house. I could not have gone through that process. I complained them, and the school could not take any proactive step. I was able to reach out to the Methodist School Board. They could not take any proactive step. I was able to reach out to the Ministry of Education that helped me to get some redress. What is the Liberia that we are developing for our young people? We have young people in high school, they are being exposed to corruption.
Sure.
We are teaching people at the university level, and we're not providing them the space to be able to practice some innovative skills. We are only teaching people theories. We haven't even redefined the educational philosophy of Liberia to know why exactly we are training people, where do we need people to be trained, which discipline we should attract more people to going into, so that those people that are going to be coming out of university, they're not just going to be degree holders, but they are going to be people who are trained to contribute to the nation that we want to build. That is what we want to see in Liberia. And it is for that reason why we are asking you whatever you would like to see in the new Liberia, come to the table, come to the CDC, make the CDC your home so that we can be able to draft the transformation that we want in Liberia. I want to appreciate every one of you for following this show. Once more, my name is Chokon Mongai. I'm a part of the CDC USA. And if you want to reach out to our institution, you can call me directly on phone number 346 234 9721, or you can reach out to anyone else on this platform, whether on Facebook, whether using their phone numbers or whatever medium you can use, so that you can come on board and join our institution. Thank you so much, and I really do appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so very kindly, Honorable Mugai and Honorable Gay, for taking up the time to actually be with us. We really, really do appreciate it. We know how busy people are. So even if we get 30 minutes of their time, especially here in the US, we are really, really grateful. So again, on behalf of the management and staff of Honor the Palava Hut, I want to say thanks to you, Honorable Augustine Gay, Koba, for your presence here. It was really, really a wonderful time. And we are hoping to have the Secretariat here maybe sometime next week or whatever the arrangement will be from our end, so that we can go into more political issues. Now, we'll not be just limiting ourselves, asking you questions, but we'll be discussing political issues. Maybe we'll take 1 or 2 hours. But again, I want to say thank you all. I appreciate you, and have yourself a God bless day on our end. Thank you so very kindly, sir.
Thank you.
SG, I taught for 15 years. So you won't.
Oh, all right, so fellow Liberian, there we have it. There we have it. There we have it. We want to say thanks to the team there that was here from the CDC USA. They did exceptionally well. The interim team did exceptionally well. We want to say thanks to the team. Again, fellow Liberians, the CDC USA is turning up a new page, and it's about time that all of us, patriotic Liberians, get on board for this change. But again, let us, as we await some of our people who are supposed to be with us, let's discuss this. I don't know how many of you are observing what is going on in Liberia. Liberia right now is at a crossroad, and what is scaring is the disrespect for the rule of law that is being displayed by the president, the man who is supposed to be the head of state. When you see a government start to behave in such way, form, and manner, you must know that there is something deep under their sleeves. The Supreme Court is that court that one would say the final arbiter of justice in our country. And so, therefore, when there are issues, we all run to the Supreme Court for redress. But the pattern and the behavior that have been shown by Joseph Numa Boyka and his gangster is fearful. To the extent that Mr. Boyka will say to the Supreme Court, you've ruled in favor of the rule of law. And let me say this, the Supreme Court did not rule in favor of Fonati Kofa. Let me repeat myself. The Supreme Court did not rule in favor of Honorable Fonati Kofa or in favor of the majority bloc or against the majority bloc or in favor of the majority bloc. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the law of the Republic of Liberia. That's what you need to get. The Supreme Court did not rule for anybody. The Supreme Court, I believe, in this particular case, has no direct link to anybody to say, yeah, I favor the person, I favor that person. What the Supreme Court ruled in favor of is the law that is supposed to protect you and myself and everybody that's supposed to be protected under that particular law. Is what the Supreme Court ruled in favor of. You know, I had the privilege to be in conversation with some people, and we were talking, and somebody said, alas, you know, when the issue happened, alas, the Supreme Court now rule now. They not get Joseph Numa Boyka bloody nose. So I told the person, I said, look, for me, I do not see it that way. I do not see it that way. The Supreme Court did not favor or was against anybody, but the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the law. They ruled in favor of the law. And it is quite surprising to see an 80 years old man who should understand governance because he has worked in government for almost good portion of his life. To see this old man will decide to openly disrespect the court, it is worrisome. It is worrisome. Because look, let me tell you something. Joseph Numa Boyka has no future. When I mean has no future, it's not like some people that will say, well, you know what? And I pray in my future, I want to be this, I want to be that. Joseph Numa Boyka has already reached the zenith of everything that he's looking for. You're talking about age, you're talking about enjoyment, you're talking about this, that, and all the other rest. Joseph Numa Boyka, God has already given him the grace to reach that age, to reach the age that he has reached, even though he's trying to present different age to all. The other time he's 75, the other time he's 79, the other time he this, he that. But God has given him the grace to even reach 80. The grace to reach 80. Especially in the kind of Liberia that we find ourselves, where you see people getting engaged in all kinds of things, early death, all kind of funny thing happening in Liberia. To see a man of his age, that grace right there. So Mr. Boyka has no future to say, well, I'm working 18 years for my future. Now, what Mr. Boyka should be doing right now is to be able to set the country on a path for the future of his grandchildren, Tata's son, Joseph Numa Boyka Jr., Jojo Boyka's son. That's what he should be doing as a grandfather. But from all indication, it seems that Mr. Boyka gave a hint about the way the country is going. He does not care. He does not care. And to go to the extent of trying to influence things where lawmakers will openly engage in what we call lawless act. Look at what happened with Yeke Koluba when when Rachel Kuhn gave an instruction to vandalize and damage the property of another lawmaker. This is scary. These are the people who should be keeping our country intact. But look at what is happening. Few group of people, because you feel that you don't like somebody. So he said, no, we go in there, we go do our own thing. The law must be the law. And we as Liberians must enforce that these people respect the law. Because if we keep quiet and say, let's lead the people, and the people that are capital here, let's lead them, that we the one they're coming for. That we the one they're coming for. Oh, yes, we are the ones that they are coming for. Because if even they who are supposed to respect the law are openly disrespecting the law, when they're ready to treat us, nobody will stand and talk for us. This is not about Fonatico Fao. It's not about Rachel Kuhn. It's not about Joseph Numa Boyka. It's about we, the common people. You see, we live in a country here in the US when people are connected with people who work in government. They're scary to even do something that will be able to dent their character. Because sometimes the thing that you do, because of your connection to certain government minister, it can even affect that minister. It can affect that minister. There are people who they did not do it, but their children decided to do something that is just not normal. Something that is just, against the normal way of behaving. And do you know their parents have to resign because of the behavior of their children, the way their children behave? Because their son or their daughter misbehave. So at the end of the day, they had to resign. This is scary. But in Liberia, we just wipe this thing off. We just wipe it, which is bad. Coming, I just received something. I'm responding to a message here. But I want you to listen to this because we're going to talk about this for a while. I want you to listen to this. Listen to this from Darius DeLong. Listen to this. Let me start from the very beginning while I try to bring my guests on. I'm trying to connect these guests, but listen to this.
What's the current monthly income of a governor and members of the board? Question.
So currently, the salary is $10,000 gross. And I am entitled to, I think, 7,008.
No, you acting governor, don't think now. You already there.
Yes. But this is it. Since I was appointed acting governor on August 1, I have not attempted taking the salary, the benefits, neither have I moved.
No, that's not my question.
So after your
nominee,
I will.
you want to do pro bono fund. You want to do pro bono fund. What is the salary structure? The income, monthly income structure.
That's what I was saying. The salary, that's the gross, and a cash allowance of 7,800 gross.
You have not answered the question.
That's monthly. So are you asking for all the benefits of
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes.
So the governor again gets a monthly salary.
Now, you see, there's a reason why I am playing this, fellow Liberians. You listening to these people who are supposed to be serving you. You listening to these people who are supposed to be making sacrifices on your behalf. You know, those of us who have worked with young people and have been privileged to be part of some kind of organization where we serve as head. I just want to give you an example, not even security wise, but I'm going to give you an example. As a scout leader, right? Whenever we go on camp, your first responsibility is to make sure that you are the leader. Yes, you are the leader. But your first responsibility is to make sure that your team is secure. When you reach on the camp, and if there is any food to be eaten, you as the leader, you are the very last person to eat. From my scouting training. Let's forget about my security. Let's go just to my scouting training. There's the scout. So you as the scout leader, or maybe the senior patrol leader, or whatever you are, taking this team to camp, you must ensure that all the people who are on that particular camp have food to eat. And you will be the last person to eat. You are not the first person to eat. In any case, you are the last. You must ensure that the people that you carry, they are all okay, they are well seated, they are comfortably seated. And then after that, when you're finished with them now, then you people can be able to eat. It is unfortunate. And it's supposed to be so. When people are elected, they are elected to work on our behalf. We gave them the authority to work for us, not to work against us. But it's like what we are seeing from these people, they are working against us. How are they working against us? You work against the people interest, number one, when you as just an official, you are entitled to $7,000+ every month for monthly benefit. When the people there in D12 public school don't even have blackboard. D12 public school don't even have blackboard. You that is working in government, you are entitled to receiving card 3 times before the year comes to an end. But the teachers, the public school teachers at G.W. Gibson, don't even have a bus to commute them from school to Broad Street. You can know that the people are not working in your interest when the man who call himself the rescuer will buy $1.2 million car to sit down in for his comfort, but then we don't even have vehicle at the state-run hospital, JFK. You don't even have a vehicle there for doctors, medical doctors. You can know that these idiots are not working in your interest when you have, for example, at the Ministry of Education, officials are taking salary benefits, fabulous ones. But the teachers who are in the classroom rendering sacrifices, they don't even have the opportunity to receive medical benefits. This is a disgrace. You see, let me tell you something. The way we are, that the kind of leader we produce. No, let me say it this way. You produce a leader as per your heart desire. Your heart desire. What you desire. What you enjoy, that the kind of leader you produce. You see, serious country don't take buffoons and fools and make them to be their presider. No, they don't do it. The way you want for your life to be, that the kind of person you will run beyond. Let's be fair. It's hard to say, but let's say the truth. Do you think that somebody who is in the ghetto, somebody who life has been affected seriously, and they are in the ghetto, living in graveyard, do you think that they will go, for example, to the executive mansion and go approach someone there to be, or a lady there to be their girlfriend or their wife? You think it will happen? So the place that you are is the kind of people that you will associate with. You see, it's life. That's why, I used to tell people, I say, look, my man, I know we had some of our friends, some of our colleagues who were given an opportunity to work in government. But once that person reached to that level, you must understand that take it as it is. It's something that you will feel bad, but that's the reality. You and that person now, your priorities are different. My friends that we used to be together and running behind Gary Yoko, at certain level in life, when I reach there, I'm no longer running behind Gary Yoko. My time have changed. The energy have changed. Plenty things about me have changed. So I am not going to be focusing there. It's not that they are not my friends, but because of the kind of environment I find myself in, the time and whatever, the focus will not be like that again. So I'm giving all these examples to tell you that the kind of people that we elect, that how we looking like, then how the people can treat us. We have this parable in Liberia. They say when you put yourself in tomato cup, when you decide to use a tomato cup and pour yourself inside, the people will use broom straw to dish you up. So these leaders are misbehaving because they know the kind of people that we put there. These are not people that have any records of fighting for you. But they will come and give you $2, $3. They give you half back or rest. Then you put your hand or you say, yeah, everything is okay. Everything is fine. No, everything is not fine. We are producing leaders because our appetite for development is low. While people, other countries are talking about building skyscraper, you get one 80-year-old man is proud to go and dedicate hand pump. Then you say, yeah, just like you hey. When other serious nations around you are dedicating what we call, multi-million dollars complex for people to sell in. A Joseph Newman Breaker will go to some kind of area that have already been built by somebody and go there and go dedicate and say you want to change people's life. Using that one will change people's life. No vision at all. No people or a group of people that are serious will look at a man like Joseph Newman Breaker and say can preside over the country. You can't do it. No serious people will do it. No serious people will do it. Because they will start to ask themselves, what is this man's record? What is this man's record? This is somebody who was given 12 years, 42 years in government. Nobody can tell you, say, oh, the last time Joseph Newman Breaker fat was smelly. Nobody will tell you that. This man, that even his own life, he struggled with it. Somebody who worked in government for all these years, vice president, will be proud enough to sit on the platform and say, I'm living on loan. You can't sustain yourself with all of the salaries and the benefits that you are having. You can't sustain yourself. or you take the country and put it in this man's hand. But then you expecting Liberia to progress. When other nations around us are looking for people who will be able to develop their nation, and they are building things, skyscraper, going into modern invention. Joseph Numa Boyka stay on Hempon. He stay dedicating Hempon. He proud. Serene blowing behind him. Whoa, 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 whoa. He say going to dedicate Hempon. When other people are talking about sophisticated security, how you call system to track down people, Joseph Numa Boyka will still be going to boot. Lotto boot. He going to go dedicate Lotto boot. Then we say, yeah, yeah. Lotto boot. And then we think that all is well. But other people are building multi-million dollars building. So what is Joseph Numa Boyka's own agenda for Liberia? I will ask this question again. What is his agenda? You have this old man that was very deceptive in his words. He lied to you for votes. At the end of the day, they are now there. What are they showing you? What can you see? No, what is it that you are seeing that can tell you that, oh yeah, the people then they really serious for true. Oh yeah, the people then forget it. They will change Liberia. What are you seeing? What are you witnessing? These people are disrespecting the rule of law. They don't have time. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. They and their family. They and their concubines. That's what they care about. They care about themselves because you yourself have put yourself into mental cup. So they don't get time for you. In this modern day and age, 21st century, should we be talking about Hempon? That Hempon Bene we should be talking about here? No. Let's be sincere now. Should we be talking about Hempon around here, my people? Should we be talking about Hempon? But Joseph Numa Boyka have decided to pride himself over Hempon because you know what happened? He have seen that low. Liberian people forget it. The people there not serious. Anything the people will take, we can find our way easily amongst them. Forget it. The people there, how kind of people there? Just lead them. Look at the achievement that President Weah was able to make in a significant, very short period. The man that you condemned and said he has no governance experience. But look at some of the things that he did. Let me bring you something here. The man that you condemn. Oh, the man, I ain't got no governmental experience. The man now government, he now not government man. I remember before then, we said all kinds of things. All kinds of things about President Weah. There were people who said, oh, the man, he has no idea about government. But the man that has no idea about government and governance, look at what he was able to do. In relatively short period of time, look at what he was able to do. Look at what he was able to do. I'm sorry, my people. So look at what is going on as we speak today. Let's talk about achievement. Let's talk about the achievement of Joseph Numa Boyka and that of President Weah. You claim that President Weah was a complete. Oh. You claim that President Weah was a novice. He knew nothing about government and governance, according to what you said. Let me go there. You claim that he know nothing. But now look at what is happening. Let's look at, in the government structure. Let's look at electricity. Today, I see people want to jump and say, oh yeah, electricity, this, that, and other thing. No, we've been, enjoying electricity, seeing, how you call it, days that when doing the wartime, when Prince Johnson was rebel leader. So it is unfortunate that, look, let's talk about the achievement. Now let's compare achievements. Because Joseph Numa Boyka is going 2 years. What has it shown you? What have you seen that you can be proud of and say, yeah, they man are true, they man will carry us somewhere? Everything this man put his hand to was a complete lie. The man lied to you to get to power. So the lie now have caught up with these people that nothing at all you can see from them. They are not able to produce anything because they lied to you. They lied to you. They lied to you. Nothing they presented to you was truth. They lie and deceive you, and you took power and gave it to them. Today, look at where we are. Talking about electricity, talking about achievement. Let me show you something here. Let's come here. Let me show you this. I don't want you to believe me. Huh? I don't want you to believe me. But let's come here. You see here? Let's look at President Weah achievement in the electricity sector. Let's go ahead. Courtesy of, at the time, the Ministry of Information, Culture, Affairs, and Tourism. Let's go ahead. President Weah achievement in the electricity sector is what you're about to hear.
My fellow Liberians.
Not listening to it, don't believe me. No, let's talk about achievement. We're talking about English now. Who know English? Who not know English? We're talking about achievement. Let's talk about the achievement. No, let the members of the Unity Party, let them come. We give them platform free. Free platform we provide for you. We're not take $5 from you. $5. In fact, we buy you cold water while you on. Come and let's discuss the issue of achievement. So let us look at the issue of achievement in the electricity sector. Let us look, Honor President Weah. Look, do something that is new. Don't do something that we've been there, done that before. And no, don't can tell us about what we did yesterday. Don't can tell us about what we achieved. Tell us about something that we are not aware of, we don't know of. Your friends that you say you having, what are they doing for the Liberian people? Come and tell us something new. But let's go ahead and listen to this. Achievement, honor His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. And we are privileged to announce this to you. So go ahead and listen. Let's listen here.
My fellow Liberians, I'm Adunin Daniel C. Yeyu Jr., Deputy Information Minister of the Republic of Liberia. Today, let's take a look at what His Excellency President Weah has done through the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Before President Weah's inauguration, Liberia was largely a dark country with only 35,000 households having access to electricity. With the exception of few households in Grand Gida, Maryland, and Nima counties that were connected to the CLSG lines, fewer residents in Monrovia receive irregular supply of electricity at one of the highest costs in West Africa. The woes of the power sector were compounded by a major donor apathy caused by the unaccountability of about $6 million United States dollars of the Norwegian donor.
This is President Weah achievement in the electricity sector. We are talking about tangibles, not something that, somebody just sit down and say, let's put a lot together. Tangibles. The legacy that President Weah left for the electricity sector. Listen to it. Go ahead.
An overdue debt of $8.2 million United States dollars that was not paid by the previous administration stressed the cash flow of LEC and impeded its commercial activities already plagued by uncontrolled power theft. With the scant supply of expensive electricity to minute parts of 3 counties, to dark Liberia with majority of its blackout cities, towns, and villages was handed to His Excellency President George Weah for illumination. President Weah has increased the supply of electricity to 220,000 households from 35,000 households in 2018. Cities, suburbs, and towns in 9 counties, Mosurado, Margibi, Grand Cape Mount, Bombing, Bong, Maryland, River G, Grand Jita, and Nima counties have received electricity for the first time since our Civil War. President Weah has increased LEC generation capacity from 88 megawatts in 2018 to 113 megawatts in 2023. He made it possible through the power purchasing agreement for the supply of 25 megawatts through the CLSG interconnecting lines. President Weah has also successfully transformed the Bushra power plant from use of diesel to heavy fuel oil and increased its generation capacity from 35 megawatts to 38 megawatts. President Weah has restored donors' confidence in the energy sector once more. He has, over the past 5 years, attracted hundreds of millions of dollars in support of major LEC projects under his administration. Among the projects is the 96 million United States dollar ongoing RESPACT project to procure and install 20 megawatt solar power plant. This project will also add 2 turbines to the existing McCovey hydro plant to boost its generation capacity to 128 megawatts. On behalf of the Liberian people, President Weah has also formed a partnership with World Bank and West Africa Power Pool to conduct a feasibility study for the construction of a 150 megawatt hydropower plant on the St. Paul River. The study is near completion. When the St. Paul River hydropower project is constructed, it will have a generation capacity of 2 times more than the Mankofe hydro currently generates. Upon the urgings of President Weah, the World Bank has already pledged 300 million United States dollars toward the construction of the St. Paul hydropower plant. In a few years from now, the entire Liberia will receive stable and affordable electricity when President Weah completes the RESPAC 20 megawatt solar project, the 15 megawatt Scatec solar project, and the 150 megawatt St. Paul hydro plant. Upon completion of these projects, LEC will generate about 300 megawatts. In President Weah's Liberia, 1.1 million persons have access to affordable electricity because he reduced the tariff on electricity from 35 cents per kilowatt to between 15 and 22 cents per kilowatt based on your customer type. President Weah has catalyzed the access to affordable electricity by signing into law an act criminalizing power theft. His anti-power theft campaign has saved LEC from over 30 million United States dollar loss per year and booked about 28,000 corporates. As a result of the anti-power theft campaign, over 15,000 new prepaid meters have been installed and more than 18,000 disconnections of illegal customers have been made. President Weah has made LEC financially stable by paying the previous administration overdue debts and by paying his government debt on time. Since 2018, the government of Liberia has been built up to 37 million United States dollars, and President Weah's government has paid up to 36 million United States dollars on time. President Weah has also issued executive orders exempting LEC from paying custom duties and general services tax on petroleum products, transformers, wires, and light poles to hasten LEC expansion program. As a result of all his efforts, 15,000 transformers have been added to LEC's network, while 2,199 kilometers of medium voltage lines have been installed. What a capable leader we have. Thank you, President Weah.
What you just listening to are some of the achievements of President Weah in the electricity sector. All could not fit here. I got more videos that I can play you. So don't tell us of things that we already conquered under the Weah-led administration. Don't tell us that. Under the Weah-led administration, the first time after the war that we saw iron pole being placed, in different corners of the streets, and the streets being lighted. Street lights under President Weah administration. So tell us about something that we do not know of. Don't tell us about something that we know of. But when you have a government that is completely insensitive to the plight of the people, this is what happens. These people are so focused on stealing your resources, taking from you. That is their plan. That is their agenda. Take from whatever you have. They ain't got time for you. They don't have time for you. And this is the reason why we as Liberians, we must be able to stand up against the tyrannic regime. Look at what is happening. People's rights are being abused on a daily basis. To the extent that even people who support this government are even saying now that they are regretting their act and their action. Because it's like this government is doing nothing to be able to ensure that the right things are done. The country is now is on a complete negative path. Where Minister of Finance will tell us, hey, my people, you pray. Is it you pray? Is it you pray because the play without reach now? It's not easy. The whole country building now, the play without reach now, no, when kind of money building now, it's not easy. Look at the kind of thing. That the kind of thing you take as an achievement. Is this what you call achievement? Let me show you some video here. Let count to some video and show you some, so you can see it. Is this what you call achievement? In this modern day, age, and time, what people are looking for, what people are telling you of things, modern thing. Look at the kind of thing. Look here. That Joseph Numa Boyka. Look here. Is this an achievement? A president, 80-year-old of his age, to be talking about. Look here. Let's play the one. See the one. Just see. You see here? You see? 80-year-old man. The poor second even work. You see the 80-year-old man, they think looking like achievement for we as Liberians, but the way we are, the way the people will take us to be. They know that our appetite for development is now way up there. We ain't get time. Get off food to eat. We do plenty of woman business. We get plenty of club open. That's why you see people will choose opening club over opening any kind of correct institution in Liberia. Oh yeah. Go in Liberia then go see. For every 3 houses that you pass by, they want to make it full. That's not gonna lay club there. Every 3 houses that you pass by, they want to make it full. That's not gonna lay club there. Because that's how we have portrayed ourselves to our leaders. That's how we have presented ourselves. A country that the people are not ambitious enough. Your ambition is only to get food to eat. When you finish eating, you find some kind of place to go drink. You do one more business. That life, you enjoying yourself. You enjoying yourself. That's the life down there. You enjoying yourself. This is just completely a nonsense on our part. What other people are making life, they are moving ahead. What other people are making significant impact. You get your president here, when in the modern day, and look at the kind of nonsense here. Look at the kind of nonsense. That is what you call achievement. That the thing here you will be on. You think say after 6 years you going forward. These people carry on backward. 80-year-old man, a appetite for bailing him point, he too hard. Then he put people around, he go see some and say, yeah, that's only good at doing. Oh, the airport say, why not even work again? Oh. Yeah. Look here. Look at. And you see what too? And you see that? And you see, he's serious. Oh no, there's a greater achievement for him. Breaker fee that he now achieved now. Oh yeah, the papi happy. Say yeah, I get the people him for. Hey, and you see some of the thing you're poor in. You put us in a complete mess with this old man who have come to redeem himself and nobody else. And they happy, oh. They too, they happy. They are so excited. You live in a modern day, age, and time, and you happy over hand pump. 80-year-old man going dedicate hand pump. Yaka. Where, for that matter? That watch my thing. That just that human boy got achievement.
There you have it. Drinking water for buckets.
Yeah. To him na achieve bad way. And you see what we're talking about. To him na that hell about achievement na in achieve. Look at the people said that around. And you see the people dancing. And you see the people dancing. You see the people dancing. They play where they get gold, they get diamond, they get iron ore, they get real mineral. But the people excited over hand pump. Then people are exploiting your mineral resources. Look, let me tell you something. This new generation of ours, we have to take what we call an approach that is unprecedented because it's too much. It's too much. Look at what is happening. The place that is rich with mineral, that just one mineral contract alone can transform that whole place. But they gave hemp onto you, you too happy. Can't see the people jumping or clicker, clicker. Hey, they sinking too. They sinking. Oh yeah, oh they are. They are. Just wait, let me open the thing good for you to see it. Oh yeah, let me take myself from here and play the thing here for you to see it. It's just like 51 minutes. Let me play it so you can see it. Look here, look at here. And you see? You see that? Look here. Look here. You see that? The game sees the whole. 8-year-old man dedicating project for whole country. And you see that? The man who control the resources of the country. Look at the open, sweating, open the
There you
wow.
have it. Clean drinking water for marketeers. Here at the top, Brooklyn Market in Rappahannock County.
Yes.
And it's clean drinking running water.
Our basket, and you see that? And they happy, they opening it too. Yeah. And you see, in modern day, age, and time, what people are talking about opening, how you call multi-million-dollar infrastructure.
Because she's saving time, you can't pay him.
Guys, we are here to open the pipe.
You see somebody we're talking? You see? You see? You see?
There you have it.
The people who are controlling the resources of the country,
Yeah, the top.
they enough to look at the point I give it to you, and you feel happy. Our people are so excited. They are so excited. They are so excited. Look at some of the things that you see you see how your leaders take you now. You see how they take you. You're somebody that don't have value. That anything can go, any number can win. Just those days, you want to do your list, so they say, oh man, any number can win. The father has said, forget it, you can send it. They don't value you. Now why they take this kind of thing and give it to you? Because they see that, these people here, forget about them. Anything can send it. A county that is producing, one of the county that is producing one of the most valuable mineral in the world, contributing immensely towards Liberia growth. The diamond, the gold coming from that place. But look at the thing they give the people. Hempon. 80-year-old man gave people hempon. They happy. They jumping around. When President Weah was building homes for these people that have never, some of them, they have never even seen block in their own villages. President Weah was building homes. He said, no, that's not what you want. But you want 80-year-old man that will give you hempon. And you see some of the thing we're talking. Yes, is it. The entire system of governance have been degraded to number nonsense. Because not even number 1 or number 0. Oh yeah. But to number nonsense. Joseph Numa Boyka is retrogressing the progress of our country. We have reached to the place where we think we should be going forward, but rather we are coming backward under Joseph Numa Boyka. Corruption has become the order of the day under this man. Where are we heading, fellow Liberians? We got to take a leave because today was just a special day where we bring the team. And I want to say thanks to the team. They did exceptionally well. I want to say thanks to the team. The guys came from the CDC USA interim team, presented the case. I want to say thanks. The other sister could not come on because she was very busy. She called earlier, but we sure she will be here tomorrow. I want to invite all of you tomorrow on the show. We'll always be here tomorrow on Friday by 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us tomorrow and let's have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. On this note, my people, time have caught up with us. Sometimes you want to do this over and over, but time again is of essence. I think some of you can bear me witness. Before we used to go like for 3 hours, and now 3 hours, 30 minutes. But this time, the other 1 hour or 2 hours or minutes. It's not because we want to do it, but it's because of somebody say competing priorities. So we get other stuff to take care of. So we got to divide our time. We got to rest ourselves so we can go do other hustle. We got to take care of other, family busy. We got to do this. We got to do that. But again, in a special way, I want to recognize two of our sisters. I want to say thanks so very kindly. These two people did exceptionally well. I want to say thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I want to say thanks to uh, our own lovely, lovely sister there who was able to make a very, very huge contribution towards the platform. Our sister Tita. Tita, thank you so much. I want to appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. I want to say thank you. I also want to say thanks to Sophia Blamo. Thank you so much, my sister Sophia Blamo. You see, like I said to you the last time, and I will say again, this is not just the ordinary presentation we do. Take the phone, put it down, and talk. Whenever you see me behind the screen here, it takes a lot for me to be behind here. Even the program I'm using, I have both StreamYard and that of the Zoom. They are all paid version. It's not the free version. These are all paid version. Every month, I pay nothing less than $200 for these two programs that I'm using every month. I mean, just for the program, because I must have antiviral and stuff like that. And anytime that I come on, I'm using a kind of system where my internet is very strong. I'm not using just but my T internet because I want for the information to go across. So it's not easy. The little that I make, I got to share it with family, with friends, and other stuff, and also share it with this platform, which I'm very excited doing. I'm very excited. And I'm doing this because I see this as a job. I want to show you my sonny. Maybe one of these days, I don't like to do it, but maybe one of these days I will do it. My internet system I'm using here is one of the strongest that I'm using because I don't want no glitches. My gadgets that I'm using, they are some of the most sophisticated. And I want to say thanks to Pape Flomo. Pape Flomo, I want to say thank you so very kindly. You see, there are people who, once they get to know that you are serious about things, they are willing to help you. I want to say thanks to Pape Flomo. Pape Flomo who helped us a lot. Say, look, Prince, don't worry, I'll get your back, brother. We are together in this. I want to say thank you, Pape Flomo. And all of you who continue to contribute through your comments, through sharing, through liking, I want to thank you. I really do appreciate it. My CDC family, I want to tell you people, thank you so much. I am here because you people strengthen me every day. You're giving me a call and say, Prince, we got you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thanks to all of you. Even those of you who criticize what we do, I want to say thank you too, because you help us. Your criticism helped to make this thing what it is, because we sit down and checkmate ourselves. I want to say thank you. On this note, my people, time have caught up with us and we have to go. Thank you. God bless you. And bye from our end.